So today we are talking about you got 10 grand to buy some convertibles. This is kind of like all hold no hold bars, whatever you want to say the expression is. But a quick one first. Have you ever owned a convertible?
No, it's a niche I need to scratch, but I've never owned a convertible. No,
Do you think it's because you're not English? Like English people have the most convertibles in Europe for no apparent reason because we don't have the weather.
maybe it is a weird thing, isn't it? On this rainy island, everyone ends up with a convertible. Maybe it is.
I mean, how many years you been here now? It's got to be eating away from you now and going, hey, I'm getting colonized.
Yeah. I've been here since 2001. I think it's time I integrate fully and buy a convertible. Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what you think of because I've had my E-Class convertible, which was a fairly expensive one, E450, so 370 horsepower
Voice.
from Mercedes, kept going wrong. So put it back because it was too expensive to keep going wrong, if that makes sense. And as soon as we're going to get a warranty. So that was my midlife crisis car. And then I went, So then that's when I got the Fiat 500 convertible because I just wanted peace of mind, ironically. So you went for an Italian car.
Yeah. Always works.
Yeah. I've had two Alfa Romeo Spiders. I've had a VW.
You like punishment. You like punishment.
I'll show you. We'll have to do one of the most knackered. We'll have to do one of like a video on our most knackered cars, and it will be one of the Spiders.
Yeah.
Then I had a VW EOS. You ever remember one of them?
Yeah. Sleek car.
Yeah, I didn't do a step wrong. 2-litre diesel, I think, 140 horse. Just a solid car, if that makes sense. No real emotion to it, but solid car.
So donkey.
Yeah,
like you can rely on it. It's not exciting, but you can rely on it.
Yeah, exactly that. I must have had more convertibles than that now, thinking about it. Yeah, that must. Yeah, maybe that's it. You know, you got too many cars. I must have had another convertible. But yeah, so I suppose to get onto this one. What would be the first convertible you would think of getting?
All right. So the first convertible on my list is this one. It is the 2004 Toyota MR2. So that's the one everyone hates, obviously. Everyone wants the Mark II MR2, you know, the one with the bigger engine, 172 horsepower, the one David had. We always have to mention David in those videos, but people want that MR2, you know, and especially the Japanese import with a big turbo and so on.
Have you ever? So you haven't driven one of these, have you?
I've driven the Mark I,
right?
Which was a go-kart. I mean, it's not very, very fast in a straight line, but it's a very light car. So you always feel you're driving faster than you are. That's one thing. The second thing is I've been in a couple of Mark IIs, and I've been in one Mark III as a passenger. They're all. It's easy to paint as a hairdresser car, but it's a mid-engine car, variable valve timing. It's only 140 horsepower, but that car will slap you across a hedge if you don't respect it.
Oh, 100%. So I had a friend back in the years when I was visiting the club that you managed, and he had one of these, and it couldn't go around a roundabout past 20 miles an hour. Back just kept slipping out. We had maybe not a race. I wouldn't say a race around time. That's not sensible. But I had an Accord Coupe. I've never seen one since. A white Accord Coupe. Maybe 120 horsepower against his 140 MR2. Kick his ass all day long because he couldn't go more than 20 miles an hour. And I thought it was him driving because he was quite young at the time. So I took it out and you couldn't go around. Now I'm thinking, well, there's something wrong with the tires or suspension, but
maybe. I mean, Ange, you remember Ange, our woman? She had one of those. It's basically the same engine as in the Mark 7 Celica.
Yeah.
So gutless below 5,000 RPM, and then suddenly the engine wakes up. No torque, so I feel at home. They are nice little cars to drive, and I mean, with the correct tire and suspension setup, I'm pretty sure it would hold the road. But
so why would you go for this one and not the older one with the turbo? Oh, because you like your natural aspiration, don't you?
Ooh, yeah. I mean, I tell you what, it was really fun though, going in David's Mark II,
Yeah.
Mark II. He slapped a giant turbo in the car, and every time I was like, "Do you want to go for a drive?" We'd have to take spare bottles of water. We'd go through was it the Hatfield Tunnel?
Do you have your tunnel? Yeah.
Yeah. So we'd go from his house in Stevenage. By the time we'd finished, cruising through the Hatfield Tunnel, we had to park the car, wait for it to cool down, top up the coolant, and then we could go home. It was a furious contraption, that thing, but they're beautiful cars. They're beautiful cars. A good MR2 Mark II, untouched, pristine, is expensive.
Yeah, that's a good point, isn't it? Yeah, these are probably under 10 grand. It's the one you want to go for.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pick a semi-sensible car next.
Go on.
Didn't realize the price on these. They dropped. And I looked at buying one of these and I've got something else. I can't remember what I went for instead. But it's the Audi S5 convertible. So
Nice.
2002 plate. So it looks as, is it 2002 or is it 2012? So it looks like a brand new one. Put a private plate on it.
Yeah.
You've got 350 horsepower, 6-cylinder turbo. Probably quite expensive to maintain within reason because it's Audi. But how do I put this? Forget about having a second car. This is my primary car as a convertible, and I only had 10 grand, and I had a bit of spare change to keep it going.
Well, I mean,
go far wrong with that.
If it's been well maintained, it shouldn't really go wrong. Obviously, as you say, it's an Audi. If it goes wrong, it costs money. But if you get hold of a good one, and I mean, you can cruise in style. Then it's got back seats, isn't it? This one, so you can take the family over. Yeah,
take the family. It's got a boot. It's a triple insulated roof, so it's going to be quiet. They normally have B&O stereos, so it'll be good. So you could get, continental car, like sub 10 grand. You want to go across Europe. You want to go to Scotland. You want to go anywhere. And you could do long distance, but if you want to go a bit of a blast, I remember test driving a few, and they were nice to drive, but they didn't blow me away. That's what I was expecting them to blow me away, and they didn't. And what did I get? I think I ended up going for a 2-litre turbo Ateca in the end instead, completely different. And I just feel like those 2-litre turbos felt like more shove than the V6 turbo, even though it's 350 versus 300 horsepower.
Yeah,
I just feel like Audi TTs, I've tested a few of them, the Cupras, the Atecas, that 2-litre turbo that you get in the Golf R, feels a lot faster. And I suppose on paper, 0-60 is better as well. And then I suppose a big heavy V6 with a quattro four-wheel drive.
Maybe, yeah. That can play. I have a soft spot for V6s though, but yeah. No, that's a nice car. That's Audi. That's a good choice. Safe choice.
I've got another safe choice after as well, and then I'm out of safe choices. But
all right.
So what about yourself?
All right. So
car number two. I've
never owned a BMW.
Okay.
It's apparently the ultimate driving machine, right? That's what they advertise it as.
Yeah, that's the one.
Never had a BMW, and we were talking about convertibles. Here it is. So that's a Z4 for 5 grand, right? It's a Z4, 2.5 liter, and it's a good-looking car as well.
What age are you thinking?
What year? That's a 2003. It's brand new.
2003. Right, let's see what we got. Just doing a bit of search. Okay. So it's the soft top convertible. Do you reckon a future classic? Very far in the future, because I got a feeling maintain them or lose them.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, I think that Z4 is better looking. It has just a better styling than the current Z4, which is just plain, really.
Oh, interesting.
I know.
I do like the new one. I think for the price out there.
Yeah.
I also, quick question, Supra or Z4?
Oh.
Both same price, both 99% the same car.
I'd have to go for the Supra because it does look like the Batmobile. I'm really sorry. It does look like the Batmobile, and they're very rare.
Do you know what annoyed me about the Supra when they released it? Because I change cars every 2 years, so it's always about time when I was looking. But when I was looking, I was thinking, my God, there's no 2+2 out there at the moment because there's not many 2+2s.
Yeah,
Got the Audi TTs, but there's not many 2+2 sporty cars sub 50 grand, sub 40 grand.
yeah.
And I thought when they announced the Supra, I'm like, well, the old Supra's 2+2. And I was like, oh, the new one's going to be 2+2. I thought, brilliant, because they've got the GT86, but it's a bit slow for me. The tires aren't wide enough. You know, it's a bit too slippery. And they said the Supra, and I thought, oh, it's going to be a bigger GT86. It's
Yeah.
going to have, you know, a V6 from BMW, which I quite like. I think it's the B58 engine. I was like, oh, this could be good. And then it was two-seater and it's smaller, and I'm like, no, it should be bigger. But anyway, that's my little rant about it. I was quite upset because I thought, I know I'm going to get the next car.
I think it's a good looking car. I mean, I don't jump on the bandwagon, you know, oh, it's a BMW in Toyota, you know, close.
Yeah.
I think we should be lucky that those two have collaborated to come up with a sports car. It's an endangered species, isn't it? We don't see a lot of sports cars anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how much they go for now, but I've got a feeling they will, because so many were bought.
Yes.
They will drop. It couldn't be a. I might have to look around for one of my next audiences, one of my next shows.
I think they're stunning. They took some risk with the styling, and I kind of like that. In a sea of SUVs which all looks the same, I think the Supra looks great. And by the same token, my Z4 does look good because it looks different. If you look at the new shape Z4, the one you like, it's not a bad looking car, but it almost looks like what is it, GSLK? They kind of have the same slippery shape. It's not striking enough, but anyway. So that's my choice number 2.
Right. So are you ready for me to go off on track for this one? So well, I'm going to bring up, I always have an SUV.
Yes.
So SUV again. So this is reminiscent of me in COS. So I'll tell you a bit of a story, true story. So it was my one of my best mates, Lee's 40th. So we're in COS. So I'm 6 foot, 90 kilos. Lee's a bit shorter than me, 90 kilos. There's a guy called Rob, half my height, maybe 17 stone. And then there's a big guy, 6'4", 6'5", 22, 23 kilos.
Yeah.
And we're like, shall we go hire a car? And I'm like, I don't mind not drinking for a day. I can have some fun. So I'll send you some pictures after. It's hilarious. And then not a normal hire company, all old cars. And we're like, well, there's a Suzuki Jimny. It's only like €30 a day, all inclusive. I'm like, that's all right.
It's a happy car.
I wasn't even thinking about the size of us. Anyway, the guy turns up the next day with the car. He goes, oh, we haven't got the Suzuki. We've got the Jeep Wrangler. And I'm like, oh, 4-litre V8. And he's like, it's 80 a day. And I'm like, no, I wanted 40 a day, or whatever it was. And he goes, okay, 70. And I went, no, 40. And he goes, no, 60. And I go, no, 40. And he goes, 50. And I go, yeah, 50. It was just like that. And he gave me the keys. And he goes, there's no door locks. The roof's already off.
Yeah.
At this point, it's like mid-30s, maybe 40-degree heat. We're all in Hawaiian shirts. And he goes, don't take out the paper on the CD player. And that's a bit weird. So we get in, and it's like the one I've got on screen here. So it's a few years old, bright blue, 4-wheel drive. And he goes, don't take it on the sand, but it's good fun on the sand. And I'm like, oh, do I take it on the sand? Do I not take it on the sand? So we get in it, no door lock, so we're just straight in. And there was this tiny piece of paper next to the CD player.
Yeah.
It's working fine. Take a tiny bit out, stops working. Put it back in, starts working again. We can't figure out why. Anyway, we're driving around for 2 minutes. We find this woman on a moped screaming at us with like a World War II helmet on, a German World War II helmet, shall we say?
Nice.
With an ashtray on her scooter while she's smoking, flicking off into the ashtray on the scooter, which then makes no sense because it just blows straight away. Anyway, she starts swearing at us in a foreign language, but we carry on. We get to a petrol station and they go, no, go away. So we go away, wouldn't even serve us. go to the next one, and it's one of those places where you pay them up front, and then a little man comes out and he fills
Yeah.
up for you. Anyway, this guy's there for 20 minutes trying to put this fuel cap off. And I'm like, he's only got one job in his life. It's taking fuel caps off and filling it up. It can't be that hard. Anyway, I give him a hand. It does take about 5 minutes. It's not straightforward. And we go around and we're having an absolute blast. And for a 4-litre V8, it's slow. But it doesn't matter. So we're driving along and we see this little lane down to the sea. And we're like,
don't drive on the sand.
Let's go on the beach. So we go down and cars coming towards us. So we just go a little bit off the road, 2 wheels on the sand, 2 wheels on the road, beaches itself.
Lovely.
And we are all laughing, like proper belly laughing.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, do you want some help? We're like, no, we're all big lads. We can push it. We just need to get our breath back because it was hilarious. At the end, we have to get up and we have to push it back on. And we're like, it's such a useless car. Like, it can't go off road. It just drinks. It's not fast. But it's probably one of the best cars I've ever hired in my life for like a giggle factor. So, Jeep Wrangler, 10 grand
for the win.
V8.
I used to love them as a kid. I was like, that's proper, like that's the American dream. But yeah, they're apparently not very good on the road, and they're not that good off road either, apparently. So.
Well, not the one we had, but again, it was still the best hire. And also, what's interesting, it's the only time I've hired a car where they weren't trying to sell you anything extra, no extra insurances. It was just, and because it was a second-hand battered car, there was no walk around and take pictures and stuff like that. It was, there's your keys. Just don't take the piece of paper out the CD player. That's what it was. That's all it was.
That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool story. That it's not about the quality of the car sometimes, isn't it? It's the adventures you have with it.
100%. Yeah, and I was wearing, I think, because everyone else had loud shirts and I didn't. So I went to a market and I picked up a bright, luminous yellow shirt.
Nice.
For €2. My wife was like, "Where the hell did you get that from?" And I'm like, "It was only €2."
Well, it's a bargain.
It was. Yeah, I got me. That was a really chilled weekend, no pressure, because like beforehand I've been aboard with younger lads, but yeah, 40-year-olds, it was just about napping during the day and lots of food and then lots of drink in the evening. But yeah, well, good love. So what number are you on now for you?
So third car, and I'm not going to be reasonable with this one. So 1997 SL320. It's only 7 grand. It will probably cost the same amount of money to make it road legal. I have a feeling they're not cheap car to maintain, but they're absolutely gorgeous. Long story short, as a kid, I went to visit my aunt.
Would you grow a mustache?
I think you have to, yeah, and you have to put a hat on as well, not a cap, a hat.
Yeah.
I was a young teenager, and I went to see my auntie in Brussels, and she just had a new job. She was a concierge for a pretty rich family. You know, they were an older couple, recluse, and they lived on a huge estate, which was, you know, everything was left as it was. The grass, the bushes, everything was just turning into a jungle. But they had that huge house, and then on the side, a garage, and they'd never really do anything with. They barely come out of the house.
Yeah.
And I'd been walking around. You know, I found all sorts on. As a teenager, it was a proper adventure. I found all sorts on that estate, and I got into the garage, and there was one of those. And to me, as a 12 or 13-year-old kid, looking at it, I was like, oh my God, I'd never seen something so sexy in my life, car-wise.
Yeah.
There's something classy about an older Merc, you know? And yeah, 7 grand, I'd take the risk. I'd take that one. I mean, it might break down, but if it doesn't, I'll be cruising in style.
So, you know, I said I bought my E450.
Yeah.
I was looking at an SL400, about 2020.
Yeah.
I think they're pretty, and they were interior really dated for the age, but really, really pretty. So I didn't buy that because it was just 2 seats, and I was like, I never end up using it. But They are all the SLs. I think are pretty, and I think they all age well after a certain amount of time. I think they're dated on the inside. Well, they're either really expensive, they plummet. So I was looking at an SL that was a few years old, and I think it was $100,000 car, 3 years old from Mercedes with a Mercedes warranty, down to about 45 grand.
Yeah.
You're like, someone's taking a hit on that. Someone's
Mm.
taking it. I don't get wrong, I would have taken another hit. But as a cash car, yeah,
Yeah.
it's weird because like the era you're looking at, I like the older ones, I like the newer ones. I do think this is like the Mustang era when Mustangs went a little bit ugly as well. That
Yeah.
whole 97 edition.
Yeah, I do like that one. I've driven an SLK. I've never driven an SL320. It's just a gorgeous car. It's just a gorgeous car.
What color would you get it in?
Oh, that one is gorgeous. I like that. Reminds me of my second Celica. It was kind of
silver,
aquamarine, kind of aquamarine kind of. I like it. You don't see a lot of. Nowadays every car out there is just black or gray anyway. So yeah, that's good.
You know, think about a pimped out white one.
You don't want to pimp one out. You don't want to pimp one, not one of those. Maybe a more modern one. And that's 1997. That's already in classic territory. You want to leave it unmolested with the original wheels and the big chunky tires.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. I reckon as a cruising car, that'd be quite nice.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't think I'd take that car and try and do burnout or raise the youth in town. You know.
Yeah, well, they're probably were automatic, aren't they? But the old sluggish automatic.
Yeah, 3 or 4 speed auto. You know. Yeah.
Overdrive, whatever that means. No one knows what it means. Is it an extra gear? Is it a sub gear? Who knows what it actually
Nobody knows, but you press it on the motorway. That's what I've been told.
Marketing went, I think we need to invent a button. What is it going to call? Overdrive. Yeah.
It's like that secret button on sub. You press it, it does nothing on the sub dashboard. Yeah, that's that one. Yep.
So let's keep into German cars.
All right.
I've got one. It's going to be like the Audi, where it's a contender. I've not test drove one, but I've had the engine before.
Okay.
And this would be, again, if I had to have a convertible for 10 grand and I really want to own it as opposed to just dream second car type thing.
Yeah.
6 Series, because they've plummeted since the 8 Series have come out, because the 8 Series is so much prettier. But a 640D. So that's the 3-litre diesel, 300 horsepower. I had it in the 335 before. Off the mark, nothing's like it for acceleration. Nothing like 55 mpg with 300 horsepower, 0-60, 4.5 seconds. I think to something to eat the motorways up, look like you turn up in the Ritz and that, it's fine.
Yeah.
I think it's got enough power and poke and 4-wheel drive that you could have fun on wide sweeping roads. It's got a decent gearbox. I do like them. It's got fairly good sat nav built in and stuff like that. The leather is next level up on things like the 6 Series.
Ooh.
Because like the 3s and stuff, they get leather, shall we call?
Yeah.
And you tend to get really weird toys like massage seats, aircon seats, heated seats. So you get all the toys, 10 grand. I think the engine's bulletproof, maybe 10 grand, 130,000 mileage. So you've got to make sure it's maintained well. But I think that looks more than 10 grand. If you turn up in that car, that looks like you've spent more than 10 grand. Obviously, bit of money aside a month. But yeah, I think that is a
little bit of detailing. It's a good looking car. Yeah. Definitely a Grand Tourer. Yeah.
And 10 grand from a dealer, so you're going to get a year's warranty with it as well. So, you know, if there's anything obvious wrong with it, it'll be sorted in the first year and then just maintain it through maybe not BMW directly, but a BMW specialist.
Yes. Always go to a specialist, never main dealer.
Yeah, and I suppose if you wanted a bit more driving, a bit more noise, you could always get the 630 or the 640 petrol. Not as much torque, a bit more noise. And also, if you tune one of these, just a remap will take it from 300 to 400 brake.
Nice. To be honest, big, I like light sports cars. That's what I like. But I'm not against a diesel. Big diesel engines have a lot and lot of torque, down low, and you don't have to bring them through, through the rev range to actually move on. And modern diesels are pretty good as Grand Tourers. They don't sound like a tractor anymore. And the last diesel I drove, you actually had a message on the dashboard letting you know the engine was running. It was that silent.
Okay.
It was a Volkswagen. I think it was Volkswagen Touran, which we hired to go in Nottingham way. And you start the car and you actually have a little message on the dashboard telling you the engine's running, because you can't hear that thing. So yeah, it's pretty good choice.
Cool. I'm just going to see if I can wirelessly charge my phone at the same time. Got a little wireless charger. Goes on. It's got some funky colors. Is it going to do it? We shall see, because I'm down to 3%. But we shall see. And we've got a few people live as well. Cool. Yeah, so that's my third. So now we're on to our special cars. What are you thinking for yours?
So, special car. I'll cheat a little bit and I'll go just slightly over budget. I've just sold Grandma's car just to get a little bit of extra cash. It's this one. It's a Jaguar XK8. So 2001, white leather, obviously. Hopefully a little bit of wood on the steering wheel, right? 4-liter car, Jaguar. I'm not sure if they're reliable or not, but my God, are they just classy looking cars. That, and then there was the Top Gear skits about, the Jag, which we all enjoyed watching. But £14,000 for that car. It's just a good looking cat, isn't it? That Jag. Automatic,
I drove 45 minutes to go test drive one of these. I had my girlfriend at the time in the car. We got there, and then she was in a mood because it'd been 45 minutes in the car. So she wanted just to go and go back. And I'm like, what? So I got to sit in it, drive it round the car park and get out. And that's the closest I've got to. And at that point, I thought, it's not my time. It's not my time.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what.
This car, though, has the same issue as a lot of cars. The hard top is really pretty. The convertible isn't, in my opinion.
Maybe you're right. But within my budget, including the theft of Grandma's auto and subsequent resale on the black market, that's all I can afford. I arrived in England in 2001, and I ended up, we moved to Preston. My girlfriend at the time was on an Erasmus student exchange, European student exchange, and she had a year to go at University of Central Lancashire.
Cool.
And we moved to Preston. I didn't speak a word of English. And just round the corner, we were living in a little house, student accommodation, shared house, with a lot of Chinese students. And we were just round the corner from the marina. And just round the corner from the marina, you had a Jaguar main dealer.
And I bet back in 2001, they looked stunning.
And that car, brand new, all shiny, in their window. I remember walking in front of it every day going, oh, that's a nice car. I'm too young for it, but as soon as you hit 40, you start looking at a wooden steering wheel in a different way. You're like, yeah, it is time.
So I suppose from one slightly older, unreliable car to my slightly older, very unreliable car. So this is one of my dream cars. So I've had a Spider before, Mark II Spider. Yes. So this is the Alfa Romeo 2000, which is kind of like the original, one of the original Spiders. It's a bit of a project car for 10 grand. But I reckon if done up right, or a
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
retro mod this over time, that was a bit more handy. Get something like this, and then slowly but surely change things. Change the suspension, change the brakes, change eventually. So keep the same engine and gearbox, but well served. Almost like remanufacture every single
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
piece. I think retro mods, and I've seen a few Alphas high-end GTA retro mods, but they're
Yeah.
300 grand. I'm like, what about something like this? But you just make it workable.
Yeah. So if you get that one, how many alphas have you had in your life then, including that
Uh,
one?
5,
Nice.
6 for this one. Yeah,
Nice. See, I haven't popped my alpha cherry yet.
you haven't got your convertible cherry or your Alpha cherry, so you got to go
Yeah.
Spider. Got to go
We
Spider.
had a look at Alfa Romeos before I got the RX8, and all my wife said was, "Oh, my ex wanted an Alpha." I was like, "All right, we're not getting an Alpha. That's it."
Love it.
But I
Absolutely
keep
love
on
it.
looking at some of them, and I'm like, "Oh, I used to like the Brera.
Yes, very pretty car. Very, very pretty car.
Big round bum, but
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, oh, but yeah, no, GX wanted one, so no.
Okay. So yeah, no, that's fair. So back to your ones then. So
Ooh,
you got rid of your RX8.
yeah.
You've only got 10 grand. Which car are you genuinely going to buy as a convertible?
So if I can't get my MX5, which is the rule of today, isn't it? It has to be.
Well, no, you can't get the MX5 because you've got a kid. So if RX8's gone, you have to buy a convertible. You've got 10 grand. You can still get the MX5 if you want, but there's
You
3
can
of
get a
you.
luggage rack on the boot lid of the MX5.
What you getting? You genuinely, what you getting? 10 grand.
If it's out of this list, I might go for the Toyota. I know he'll drink oil like mad because all the Toyotas of that generation and the generation before end up drinking lots of oil as soon as they hit 60,000 miles. It's like
Yeah.
that. Just I have an RX8. I don't mind topping up on oil on a regular basis, right?
Yeah.
I think I'd go for the Toyota because beyond the oil consumption, it should be reliable.
And
It's
what
a
4
mid-engine
seats?
car.
Okay, yeah.
Four-seater. If I have to go four-seater, I'd have to go with the Mercedes. But would I be able to afford running it? A lot of people buy a car
Yeah.
thinking I can afford buying it, and then find out later on can't afford running it.
Yeah. 100%.
So yeah, I think I'd get the MR2, and then we'll just take it on when the little one is at her grandmother.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. That's fair
You?
enough.
Out of
In
your
fact,
list, if you
out
have
my
to buy
list,
it and own it, yeah.
I mean, to buy it and own it as my sole car, I'd probably go for the S5 over the 6 Series,
All right.
purely based on I think it's prettier and it's slightly more. I've not had an Audi before. I've had a few BMWs, so I would probably go for the S5 to have a nice 6-cylinder petrol. Sounds good, looks good. I've got a private plate. I'd stick that on so it doesn't look like it. No, I'm thinking does the private plate fit it because it's a 6-0 plate, so I don't know if it fit it or not. But first world problems here. But yeah, I'd probably go for the S5 because I think it's a solid car. Maintain it well. It looks good. And whether I go for a client visit, turn up for photography clients, or whatever I do, it's going to look all right. And if I want to go across Europe, yeah, it can eat up the miles.
Nice. See, that's another typically British thing. The private plate. I haven't jumped on the bandwagon of that one either. Everyone has a private plate nowadays. You have to have the convertible. You have to have the private plate.
That's it. Yeah. Well, you've got to make sure that people can see you're a dickhead from a distance. So obviously convertible. Yeah, he's 50% there. Oh, private place. 100%. 100%.
Perfect. Black window tint so they don't see who's inside the car, but your name on the plate.
No. You can't see inside. The roof's down. You can see who it is. I mean, I've got a balding spot on top, so I wear a cap now. But
I'm
it's.
way ahead of you.
But no, it's good. No, that's cool. So yeah, no, cheers for that, and obviously thanks for everyone that's watching live as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to turn off our live broadcast. So thanks for everyone on TikTok. Especially since my battery's down to 1% and it's not charging.
1%.
That's
Done well.
cool. So what are we doing? So next week I'm off on holiday.
All right.
And I don't think the wife would be too happy if we started broadcasting.
Oh, broadcast live from the other
Imagine,
side of the world.
imagine, could be fun. Could be fun. So I'll see how the Wi-Fi is at the hotel. I'll let you know.
I tell you what, end of May, I'll be in Latvia. So there's a weekend there where I might try and broadcast from there, and then I'll let you know if I'm still married afterwards. This is the honeymoon. But yeah, so next week we take a break, and then we'll meet up again the week after. And I think we have a couple of options. We have our top 4 Scottish cars.
Yep.
Or we could go through a short history of all of the bangers we have owned and how it ended up in tears on a regular basis.
Let's do top 2 cars we've owned and top 2 worst cars we've owned and why, with some photos, and we'll go from there.
We'll do that. Perfect.
Cool.
All right. Well, I'll see you in 2 weeks then.
See you in 2. Take care.
Cheers. Bye-bye.